wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. So God is interested in your all-round health, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. You know, this month of October is the month of health. Last Sunday, we learned about our health as it relates to our nutrition, our eating patterns. Today, we have invited Mr. TIROYAONE OTIMILE, also known as Tyro, to empower us as it relates to our physical fitness. And so Mr. TIROYAONE has been a member of Royal Assembly Ministries International since 2018 and has been privileged to be under the grace of this house, and he has grown spiritually and personally. He has a degree in sports and exercise science with over 5 years experience as a fitness and physical activity specialist. He is currently pursuing a master's degree in this field. Mr. Tyro is co-founder and CEO of Rigid Initiatives, a brand operating in Pakalane for wellness and rehabilitation, and a gym also in Rasesa. His companies specialize in kids development activities, fitness for people through activities, weight management programs, and corporate wellness solutions. He has recently been appointed into BFA Medical Committee for Performance Analysis and Fitness Testing. I could go on, but please allow me to welcome Mr. Tyro. Allow me to welcome Tyro to the stage, even as he empowers us on physical health.
Shalom, church. Okay, first of all, I would like to appreciate the presence of my parents. Mommy and Daddy, I celebrate you. The church pastors, leaders, ministers, and everyone at large. My name, as she just mentioned, is TIROYAONE OTIMILE, and I'm a physical wellness specialist, or you may say a fitness specialist. So I have great passion in dealing and solving a lot of wellness problems associated with our bodies in general, and that can be solved. The mask? Okay. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, we're good. Okay, yeah, like I was saying, I have great passion for solving a lot of wellness problems that can be solved by utilizing any form of activity using our body. So, as the church has structured it, there are various forms of wellness, right? We have spiritual wellness, financial wellness, physical wellness. We also have psychosocial wellness, and now my part being to mainly present on physical wellness, which is a field that I specialize in. So I just want us to have sort of an interactive session rather than a formal presentation. So I'll just have it by asking you a few questions, and then also you guys having to ask me a few questions, right? Based on the aspects that I'll be presenting on. So I didn't feel it's important to sort of bring out a workout, like a certain physical activity or any other form of activity that can be done today, because the main reason being that if I give you something to do today and the way the body operates, tomorrow you'll still need to do it again. So I can only give you principles, recommendations, and outlines that can influence your decision making about your body. Okay, so by show of hand, can I see how many people exercise at least 30 minutes? At least 30 minutes per day? weight 5 times a week? By show of hand. You don't need to say anything. Uh-huh. We have 2 that side. Actually, it's 3. We have 4. I suppose this is the region where there are older people, right? So it's 3 there, 4 here. 1, 2, 3. Then media 1. And then 1 that side. Very surprising. Imagine the oldest people are the ones who are leading the group. So I'll get on to explain why I was asking you guys the question of the frequency at which you are exercising or working out. So let me start by explaining the objectives of my presentation today. I mainly want to help you change your perception towards exercise and also try to provide you with user-friendly or sort of measures that are relevant that you can do at the current situation, at your current environment, so that you can kickstart your fitness journey, right? And then also just to try to give you a push to be motivated to begin and start your fitness journey. So before I go on, I'll start on with explaining the meaning of physical wellness. So what is it that I'm talking about? Physical wellness or fitness, as we normally say. It's simply well-being that is achieved through exercise or well-being that is achieved through movement. Why movement? Exercise basically means any form of movement that is structured to achieve a certain purpose in your body. You move, you structure the movement or actions using your body to achieve a certain purpose. So that is basically exercise. So you're going to use exercise now to achieve what? Your well-being. So yeah, let's continue. And then now, why are we supposed to exercise? I get we're using exercise to become well-being. So why are we supposed to do that? The main reason and what people usually think exercise is used for is that they think it's only used for weight loss programs. And while there is a whole lot more that exercise is used for. Exercise, yes, for weight management can be used to lose weight or to gain weight, because as you grow and as you gain your weight, excess weight, that excess weight is stored in your body as excess fat or its energy or its calories. So you use movement to burn down or spend those calories, and as such you lose your body weight. Got it? Yes. So the reason why I also found it fit to mention other benefits there. Let's go on to the next one. Rehabilitation. Movement or exercise can also be used to try to correct injuries that have occurred in your body, or to try to regain and restore functionality, right? And still on that aspect, it can be used to still prevent the same incident. If you get fit in advance and if you become strong, you have strong muscles, you have strong joints, uh, you are at a low risk of having skeletal injuries. Protection from diseases. There are a lot of diseases that are associated with sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle means not being active, living your life, not having any sort of workouts or form of exercise. So that type of lifestyle, which is called sedentary lifestyle, has a lot of diseases that are associated with it. Just to mention a few: hypertension, sugar diabetes, uh, even other coronary diseases like metabolic syndrome, even other factors like, let's say, low energy levels because of the excess fat that you have in your body. It's also a condition that can be prevented through exercise. Exercise helps you to be more productive, to have high energy levels. So also, the other benefit that is also key towards being physically active is the social part of it. Most if not all forms of exercise, it's very rare to see someone exercising alone. And if you exercise with others, there's some form of psychosocial relief, and there's something called catharsis. Catharsis simply means an emotional release that you get from working out. There are a lot of hormones that are released when you do your workout, when you are on your treadmill, when you are doing your five-a-side soccer, when you are dancing, when you are doing all those form of exercises. Remember, I said movement, right? So people have, which I'll get to, people have a lot of misconceptions and beliefs that are wrong about being physically active. That's why I used that term as physical wellness, because it has to be physical. It has to include movement. So we have uh, the most popular way of exercising, which is good, yes, is going to a gym or having your own gym equipment at your house and doing exercises, right? But you can still exercise in other forms. You can still exercise by playing soccer with your churchmates. You can still exercise by dancing. You can still exercise by doing any other home chores, again, as long as movement is included into that uh, exercise. So yeah, let's continue. Now, the issue of frequency. Remember when I started, I asked you how many people here exercise at least 30 minutes per day and 5 times a week, right? The reason being that the World Health Organization and the American Heart Association published some studies a few years ago to explain that if an individual exercises at least 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity exercise, then that's your gold standard of being physically active or healthy. So all the other benefits that I was talking about, it means if you attempt being active at least 150 minutes per week, moderate intensity, you have a chance of having all those benefits, right? Whether they're mental or they're actually in the body. So now, in terms of people that are very, very active, it's 70 minutes of intense exercise per week. So we don't just start there. There's a starting point for everything, right? You can start by having your 2 or 3 times sessions per week and cutting it down to 20 minutes to make it a bit more simple. Remember when we had the teachings on habits, starting and replacing new habits. So it's still the same structure. You start with the small attempts, and then gradually that's how you build and end a physically active lifestyle. So you can start by having 2 sessions a week. You can start by having Tuesday, maybe Friday, or however way you wanna go about it. Just 20 minutes doing any form of exercise, and then you can take it from there. Then gradually you'll find out that you have became even more physically fit. And mind you, physical fitness is one of the disciplines in life that you can only achieve through a cumulative effect. You can't just come and exercise for a week and become physically fit, right? Which is one of the misconceptions. You can't, yeah, it's cumulative. The results are obtained from every single workout. If you work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, there's a single percentage that you earn in your body in terms of improving your physical fitness. And you have to do that repeatedly. It has to be a habitual principle in terms of your lifestyle, right? And that's how you get the physical fitness benefits. And then one more thing that I found fit to throw in there is optimizing recovery, because a lot of people also, as much as I can try to motivate you guys to start being active and looking at how many minutes you can push per week, a lot of people now become they overtrain and miss the fact that you still have to rest. So resting and recovery is as important as the way you exercise. And people are of a belief that when you are in an actual workout, that's when you gain your fitness gains. Let's say you want to increase your strength in your lower body, and then you are doing squats, right? Like just a simple exercise. As you are doing the squats, that's not when you gain the strength in the legs. You gain the strength during rest. Yes, let's say it's Sunday now, and then when you get home, you're going to exercise, right? I know how it feels. That's catharsis. Remember that term that I meant, where there's an emotional release, and it's usually associated with your beliefs about exercise. So the way you look at yourself, all those beliefs about exercise that you have, or if I exercise, I'm going to be like this. Yes, you're going to feel great during the exercise, but the actual physiological gains happen when you are at rest, which brings us to why recovery is very, very important. So you can't work out every day and not have a day where you recover, right? Because your muscles tear apart during the workout and they need time to reconnect and build into bigger muscles. That's how you become physically fit. You challenge your muscles by more weights. Your muscle fibers tear apart, and then when you rest and then you eat something, the nutrients are taken to the muscle and then they reconnect and build up into a bigger muscle. And then tomorrow when you try the exercise, that's why it feels even lighter. Okay, so let's move on to misconceptions and myths and beliefs that are associated with exercise. Cultural beliefs, this being the main one. Uh, if I can give an example for a local tribe, there is a tribe I won't mention by name. We usually believe, let's use body size. We usually believe in that tribe, it's my tribe actually. Women are supposed to look a certain type of body, right? There's a look associated with a woman in that tribe. If I tell you the place, you'll obviously know. So, if we believe women are supposed to be fleshy and big and have all manner of yeah, there are risks associated with having any type of body. Yes. So, yeah. So, if we push or we influence women because of the tribe or cultural beliefs, because maybe culturally, if you look that way, it shows that you are well off or you are taken care of or you don't struggle. Yes. But physically, it can have disadvantages, right? Remember all those diseases that I mentioned. So, those are the beliefs that are counteracting people into being or living a physically active lifestyle. Even home chores, culturally, women and men are supposed to do certain types of uh, chores in a house. And if you look at them with a close eye, you will find out that somehow they're disadvantaging one of the parties in terms of being physically active and living a healthy life. And the type of food that we eat as well. So we also have people believing that they have genetic advantages that can help them be physically fit without having to go through movement or exercise. Some people believe they are born fit. To a certain extent, you can have a good genetic potential, but it doesn't mean you are physically fit. You can only become physically fit through action, moving, right? Through exercising. So some people just feel, no, because I didn't gain weight for the past 5 years, I don't need to go to the gym room. There's a whole lot more factors that are involved to you having that type of body. That's why I was saying it's a genetic potential. Maybe your diet, maybe the way your genes process energy when you eat. But in terms of being physically active and the demands that are needed for fitness only, you will suffer. Like having skeletal injuries, right? Like let's say the current disease that we have, it requires people to have a certain type or a certain amount of lung capacities or lung functioning. So if you don't exercise and you are not used to pushing your lungs, you wouldn't grow your lung capacity to that amount. And when such diseases come, it will be very easy for your lungs to collapse. So exercise, like I mentioned when I was explaining that example, it's used to push your body to an extra, just an extra mile, right? So even to your lungs, that could be an advantage. Exercise increase lung capacity immensely. Again, taking that walk along the road or hitting the treadmill, just a jog, you will see after maybe a month or two, you'll be breathing better. Again, you don't need advanced equipment to see if your lung capacity or your respiratory system has improved. But you can feel from the way you sleep, you can feel from the way you breathe during the day. Again, when it's hot, like the way I'm sweating here, it will be easy to cope because of the way you can take in oxygen, because you are used to pressurizing your system through exercise. During exercise, you limit your body to take in oxygen. So as such, you learn how to live without oxygen or minimal oxygen. And the other one being age, we also believe that the youth are the ones that are supposed to either exercise or not exercise. Because you are young, you are still fresh, you don't need to exercise because your body is still able to do a lot more other activities without being physically active. But that's very, very dangerous because after years of living and you are not active, you will be prone to very, very serious conditions because you were not active back then. So I'd like to give you an example of my late father. He passed on 2 months back. So what happened is that he was retiring from the BDF, right? Around 2009, I was still doing my Form 3 there back at home. So when he came back, we were not that literate with physical activity and fitness. And actually, that's why I got my passion to become physically active or to pursue this profession. So one thing that we learned from him was that every morning, every single day, he will wake up and run a lot of kilometers and then come back. So everyone in the ward knew him for doing that day. Now, the nice part is not that he was consistent, which is one of the problems that we have with people being physically active. The nice part was the issue that I'm talking about of age. He was 70, he was 70 something when he went to sleep, and from that age he lived around 3 years of having uh, dementia. Yeah, that's the term for the condition. He had dementia for 3 years, and he had even other conditions that he had before he got the dementia. Dementia is an age related disease. It's mostly prominent in people who are very, very old. So if you are old, you are at a high risk of getting that disease. It's determined by what you were doing back then. So he got the condition, and then he still had high blood pressure and sugar diabetes, right? So you can see the amount of strain that is in his body. But he managed to cope for an extra 3 or 3.5 years still with that condition. So dementia, it takes away your memory, you lose your memory. There is urinary defects and all other conditions associated with it. And the body doesn't function as a normal person will function. So you can imagine the kind of strain that was in his body. And we all knew, even everyone around our ward, that he's only coping because of one thing, how he was active. He had cars, but if he's not that busy or in a rush, he will pack his cars and then walk to the mall. You see the decisions that he made. So that physically active lifestyle kind of made him to cope or live longer because of how the body got to adapt physiologically. So you can resist a lot of conditions by investing through fitness. So yeah, okay, let's continue. Okay, now my favorite slide there, which is relevant to our situation here, spiritual people. The Bible advises us to take care of our bodies, right? Again, Corinthians 6:19-20. Our bodies are what? The temple of God. So you can imagine if you are doing the opposite to your body. You are not taking care of your body. Remember, Daddy just also preached on the verse on submitting. Is it submitting your body or something like that? Being disciplined and making sure you submit your body. So it also concurs with this aspect. The way we honor our body shows that we honor God for the gift that He gave us, which is our bodies. And we can use exercise as a platform to do that, right? We can use diet as well, but exercise in this case can be used to honor God for the gift that He has given us. Remember, in the Bible also, they also tell us what God made everything, and everything that He made is good. So if you don't take care of your body, you are saying otherwise. So just to give you a little push, you can think of exercise from a spiritual, yes, mindset, right? You can see why God created or gave people ideas to having this type of institution or discipline to be done as a form of health. I get it. It's sort of a system of medicine, just like having a hospital. I get it. At times you can pray for healing, at times you can go to the hospital and get medicine. So at times you can pray for a physically fit body because you have conditions, and at times you can go to the gym room. It's a system of mercy from God. So let's continue. Okay, my last two slides as I end, because I can see I'm out of time. Now, to help you start, again, your starting point, to kickstart your fitness journey, what should you do? The number one and foremost thing you are supposed to research, have the right content, because there is a whole lot of information online and everywhere about exercise that will mislead you into having programs that are not working for you, and then you lose motivation. And also, a lot of people are not able to invest more in physical exercise because they don't know more of it. You can't confront what you don't know. You can't you can't invest in any form of activity that you don't know. It's only through getting the right content about fitness that you can be able to be disciplined with it. Knowing the benefits, like I told you, knowing what to avoid, like I told you, then you can be able to invest in fitness or to start immediately. And then also check your diet. There's something called a caloric deficit. Basically, it means the amount of calories you take in through eating and the amount of calories you take out through activities or physical activity. There has to be a deficit. The amount at which you exercise is supposed to be higher than the amount at which you take in calories. If it's the opposite and you eat more than you are active, you will gain weight. I remember when I explained body weight, I said it's excess fat in the body. So it's calories. So the reason why they say you are supposed to have a caloric deficit, you do it by spending the calories. So I'll carry on and give you simple ways of doing that. Don't think of going to the gym room, having your bench press exercises and all those. You don't need to start there. And also, you are supposed to set goals. One of the easy ways that I use with my personal training clients is that before we start, we do screening. We set goals. There is a session where we sit down and then we agree on what we want to achieve with this program, because there are a lot of benefits associated with exercise, and I can give you a training program that is very irrelevant to a situation. Maybe you don't want to lose your time, you just want to drop your BP, or you don't want to look at the BP, you just want to reduce your mkamba. So it's just an example that there are a lot of things that anyone can look for in a training program. So you set your own personal goals. So if you know yourself better and what you want to achieve, you can go for a walk. Again, someone will not consider doing that, walking around along the road or mountain hiking. Again, if you know your goals, that's when you can know when to decide to go for a personal trainer. Again, a goal can be, let's say, maybe I'm having someone is getting married, let's say in December, from today, and then you set that goal. So you'd want to fit your wedding dress in a certain way. You don't want to tailor make a bigger dress. Again, there's a dress or dress size that you want. So that can be a motivating goal for helping you to be motivated to exercise. You get it? Now, still from there, you have to understand, which is the other point, you have to understand that fitness is a lifelong habit, because people get carried away in the temporary goals that they set, and then they just look at them only, they don't internalize the lifestyle. So you have to understand that still fitness is a lifelong habit. You internalize it and it becomes part of you. You don't just go to eat when you need to achieve a certain goal. You come and exercise and then you achieve it and then you go back to your previous sedentary lifestyle. No, it becomes part of you. So fitness can also be separated from psychosocial wellness. There are a lot of mental benefits that are associated with it, and disadvantages, like, let's say, stress management. There are a lot of mental factors that can affect you into becoming physically fit. So you have to be aware of that, or your mood will not be always good to exercise. So if you know that, and you are kickstarting your journey, you won't have an expectation in yourself that I have to be motivated every time when I'm exercising, and by the time you get demotivated, you stop. So if you are aware at the beginning, you know that it's normal to wake up and your body's sore before exercising, or you're not feeling like it, or you just had an argument with your boss at work, and all those. So it's normal. The last one, there is getting support. You can try all those, but there is where we can end. Again, you have to get support. A support system can be a trainer, someone who's qualified in that specific field. I guess they know the principles of training, what to do to get the desired results that you want in your body. So sometimes, to save yourself the strain, you can still research, but get someone to help you. They can also help you in motivating you, because you pay them. Again, you also pay them for consistency. Sorry, you don't pay them for creating exercises for you. No, that one everyone can do it for yourself. So you are considering the issue of consistency as well. That's why I put it there as a support system. For that person, you know what, he has to support me. But still, there has to be a goal, like I mentioned, because if there's no goal with using that support system, you will become dependent. If your trainer is not available, you can't go to the gym. Yes, you just have to know that it's still your responsibility to go there, but pushing you to go do your workout. You can download an app. Nowadays, our phones are privileged with a lot of softwares that can help us in designing exercise programs, GPS tracking. When you are cycling around, when you stop, it tells you you've had 5 stops on the way, you have burnt 100 calories, you have walked so and so kilometers. So that's a system that can help you reduce the strain in helping you become physically active. Because if you do all those at once, it's a lot of work. And that's why some people decide to just sit at home. It's uncomfortable. And then a channel as well, or an influencer, but you have to be careful with this one. You can subscribe to a channel that has content on fitness, like credible ones. You can look at what they post. There are live sessions that are real time that you can always join. Maybe, let's say, the channel has a live training session every 6 a.m. You wake up and then just join. It's their responsibility to structure the exercises and everything. When you just follow the channel, or someone that keeps posting their workouts, their motivational videos on exercise and everything. Again, or a friend that is physically active. You can approach them and they can explain to you how they do it, their training programs and where they started and the challenges they've met along their fitness journey. Again, people like Bonka Mo, they're very active. I know Overking is very active as well. So they have, and so they have their content, and they have been through things that you can meet along the way. They know, how do I recover quickly, all those things. How do I do this if I want to achieve this in a certain time of period. It will save you money instead of going to pay a trainer. So it's up to you to choose which one fits you. So the last slide. Now choosing the actual program. Now you are considering factors that will help you start. Now, what do you consider when you start with your exercise training program? There's something that I'm very strict with, but if you have a good support system, or you have someone that is helping you and are qualified, or you have a doctor friend or so, they can assist you with this. But what I do with every training program, I check what is called physical readiness. Usually it's done through checking medical clearance, but in my profession, there's a standard document called a PAQ. It's called the Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire. Simple 2 pages. It has questions like, is there medical history of BP in your family? Has someone collapsed due to a heart attack? All those, are you smoking? All those questions. So after getting the information, that's when you know if someone is ready to start today, to start next week, or they have to go see a physician first, right? Just to avoid the risks of such incidents during your exercises. Because you'd find out that people overstay their sedentary lifestyle and they become very, very unfit. And if you just get them from that position and straight into exercise, you can have serious complications. So that's why it's very, very important to check physical readiness. And one easy way of doing it for yourself is conditioning. Conditioning is a simple way of exercising on your own. You start with simple stretching exercises just to check if your breathing rate will go up. You start by doing light exercises. So by so doing, you are conditioning your body to be ready for an exercise program when you can't approach a doctor, or you just call someone who's qualified to tell you if you are ready to start. Protocol that take you through BMI, your body fat percentage, metabolic age, your muscle mass, and all those. So if I see your muscle mass, it will be very easy to know that no, this one, they have a high composition of fat over muscle, so they can start with a more cardio program than a strength-based program, than if you don't know that. But again, still in this field, in this concept, again, you can go back to conditioning. Again, conditioning will help you see if it's a way of measuring your strength. Actually, you will see what you are capable. You do some exercises, you can see if you can do. It's a test. 1 minute push-ups. Again, it's a simple exercise that you can use as a test. You can see how many push-ups you can do in a minute, and then you check the standards, or if I can do this much, then this is my fitness level. So such information can influence you in looking at your program properly. And then now the training program, it has to be personalized. The biggest mistake that we do when we start now is that we go on to, what do you call them? One size fits all training programs. You are supposed to go on a training program that is tailor-made for you. So you consider your body type, your body composition, like I mentioned, the factors. You consider your budget. Some training programs are not adaptable to your budget. You also consider the adaptability of it, your lifestyle. Maybe if you work in a certain type of environment, is this training program going to be feasible for me to adopt because I'm a medical doctor by profession, or will it be able to be adoptable if you are in any sort of profession? So you look at the program and make sure it's tailor-made to who you are, right? And then one other strategy, it's called lifestyle integrated exercise. I mentioned a few activities there of dancing and home chores. So lifestyle integrated exercise simply means you are going to exercise using activities that are within your lifestyle already. You integrate exercise into your lifestyle. You don't go from your lifestyle to exercising. If you can, yes, it's good. You can stop a lot more that you are doing in terms of being sedentary and switching on to being strictly active. I get it. But usually for it to be adaptable and easy to start, you have to get the exercise into your lifestyle and continue with your lifestyle. That's why it's called lifestyle integrated exercise. So you'll notice that when we break it down, your hobbies, where do you go to freshen up, again, to recover? You can take an exercise program there. Where do you spend most of your time? Maybe when you are from work and you come, let's say, for Tehila practice, they can, let's say, decide on a 15 minutes small workout before they sing. So you don't need to balance between going to the gym and coming for practice. You see how you are integrating. So all those, you look at your lifestyle. You can have small equipments that you go with to your office, so that when you find free time after knocking off, you use them to exercise, because that's where you spend more time. And then another factor still in that aspect is trying to change our activities, the actual activities, in being more active than being like relying on other sources. Like I mentioned the example of my father walking to the mall than using the car. Again, thank you. Using the staircases instead of using the elevator. You see, you will still arrive there, but you have benefited the fitness, the fitness in your body. So you look at the activities that you do every day and you try to make them more physically active. And as such, you will still burn the calories. Again, remember the minutes that are recommended by the associations, the international bodies. You will still burn the calories. That's the main important part. And from there, that's where you can go into your fancy, nice workouts. You buy new gym clothes and you are motivated and you are having your nice workouts. So yeah, so you can also improvise in terms of equipment. You use your couch to do simple exercises. You use water bottles, again, before buying the actual dumbbells. And then the last factor is that any amount of exercise is better than none. Whatever you do or attempt to do, you'll always be better than someone who didn't wake up and go and exercise. So don't try to trivialize the amount of activity that you are doing and think that because the recommended amount is this amount of minutes or intensity per week, so it means I'm wasting my time. No, any amount of exercise is better than none.